This is one of my favorite EVs of all time, just for one reason. It looks so damn awesome. But not only that, I think this will actually be one of Renault's first affordable electric cars. So affordability and awesome looks, this is going to be a winner. Hopefully they can produce a lot of them. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking, great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Great to have you on board. Welcome back everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. And the Renault 5 EV, I made a video about this about a year ago. This car has been a long time in the making. There's a lot of people waiting for this. My first video that I did on this, a lot of people watched that video and they said they loved it. They wanted one, at least they loved the idea and they hoped that Renault would bring it to market soon, but it's taken longer than I had hoped it would. Now we finally have some details on this EV, even though it hasn't officially been released yet. Here are the details that we know so far. First, it was previewed as a concept back in 2021 and is slated to enter production in 2024 using a new designed electric motor made at Renault's renovated Cléon plant in France. I believe the purpose of this motor, it's underpowered, well not underpowered, the power's okay. It doesn't have a lot of power. I believe the reason for that is to improve the efficiency of this car. Obviously, it's meant to be an affordable hatchback. How do they do that, right? Well, if you have a high-powered motor, it's obviously going to use more juice. It's going to use more of that battery pack. Efficiency is going to be lower. Therefore, they've designed these new motors to be more efficient, less powerful, enable the cars to go further using a smaller battery pack. Dubbed EPT 100 kilowatt, the synchronous motor with a wound rotor and expected absence of raw earth materials will, as its name suggests, have 100 kilowatt. So, for you guys in the US and anywhere else like the UK, which use horsepower, that's 134 horsepower. This new electric motor is a version of the more powerful EPT 160 kilowatt electric motor used in the Renault Megane E-Tech electric car. For those of you unaware of the Megane E-Tech, the Megane E-Tech is kind of like a clone of the Nissan Ariya, but it's a bit smaller. It is 4.2 meters long, so about the length of a Toyota Corolla, and it has a 2.7 meter wheelbase, meaning it's actually smaller than an ID4 or a Skoda Enyaq. Now, Renault claims the electric Megane hatchback will be 1,650 kilos. So that's pretty light in comparison to the Volkswagen ID4, which weighs 2,050 kilos, and the Tesla Model Y, which is actually bigger than an ID4, but weighs a bit less at 2,000 kilos. Now, the Megane electric hatchback, which is kind of like a jacked up hatchback, has two different battery pack sizes. It's got a 40 kilowatt hour battery and a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. The 40 kilowatt hour version, it has a 300 kilometer range. The 60 kilowatt hour version has a 470 kilometer range. So more than likely, the battery pack that we're going to see in this new Renault 5 electric hatchback is going to be the 40 kilowatt hour version. As for where it will be built, the Renault 5 EV will be assembled at the company's Douai plant in the northern part of France. Renault has also said that from 2027, the Cléon plant will produce a new 200 kilowatt electric motor developed in partnership with Valeo and Valeo Siemens e-Automotive. So that's going to be the hot hatch version. So we're going to have to wait 3 years, or 3 years from 2024. I guess you're looking at more like 4.5 years from now to get the hot hatch version. However, Renault might actually make the Renault R5 Turbo 3e concept, which is like the supercar version of this thing, which is insane, epic. It's a concept car. Don't know if it's going to actually happen or not. But if they did make that, that would be pretty damn cool. The structure of this car, it's going to use Renault Nissan Mitsubishi Alliance's CMF electric vehicle platform, meaning it's going to be built from the ground up as an EV. There won't be any real compromises here with this car. It's a proper electric car. Now this CMF BEV or electric vehicle platform shares bits with the CMF B platform that underpins the Renault Captur and the Nissan Juke. However, it will cut the price of new EVs by 1/3, say Renault. So Renault is saying the price of this vehicle will come down by 33% compared to, say, the Renault Zoe, which is not exactly an affordable hatchback, especially in comparison to what you can get in China for the same price. Bringing the price down by 33%, that's going to bring the price down maybe, could be on par with gasoline-powered vehicles. Possibly. I absolutely love the design, and apparently this exaggerated design has been inspired by the original Renault 5, which was made back in 1972. Now, there's actually been a Renault Clio driving around, which is apparently a test mule of the production 5. So obviously they've somehow put bodywork of a Renault Clio onto the actual Turbo 5 body. So as you can see, it's a similar size to a Renault Clio. Now, I said what kind of battery size it's going to be, but what's the chemistry? Well, I don't think it's going to be a lithium iron phosphate battery. It's going to be a lithium ternary battery. It's going to use nickel, manganese, and cobalt, or an NMC chemistry, which is similar to the chemistry that Tesla used in their 4680 cells. And the CMF BEV platform will have a range of 400 kilometers on the WLTP cycle. There's another car going to come out that'll be similar to this. It'll be basically the same car, but with a different body on it. That's going to be the new Nissan Micra electric car. That's going to come out as well around 2024. And Alpine, which is Renault's performance division, they're also going to bring out an electric sports car using this platform as well. In fact, they're going to replace their current gasoline-powered A110 sports vehicle, which is obviously a model that you can buy right now. They're going to replace that using this architecture to build their new electric sports car. Now, for you Aussies, it's believed these new Renault electric hatchback in its base variant could cost as low as 30,000 Australian dollars. That's about 20,000 US dollars for you guys in the US. Obviously, you guys have Renault there as well. So this could be a car coming to the US as well. 20,000 US dollars for a car this size with, say, probably base variant, I would say range of 300 kilometers or around about 200 miles. And of course, the better model variant, which is going to cost a bit more, I'd say that one would be around 30,000 US dollars, maybe 27,000 US dollars. That model will probably have a range of closer to 400 kilometers, which is about 265 miles. So there's going to be two more EVs here to choose from, right? Well, three technically with the sports car, but if you're looking at an affordable car, Nissan Micra EV, the Renault 5 EV, both are meant to be much more affordable than the current cars from those manufacturers right now. And then, of course, Renault also bringing out the Renault 4, which is an SUV, which will be sized, we believe, probably similar to the Tesla Model Y. So when will Renault's new Tesla Model Y competitor be manufactured? Well, Renault was saying more than likely it's going to go into production in 2025. So I guess, competition has, 3 years to make sure their EVs are even better than what they are today. Does put Renault behind the 8 ball a little bit here in terms of having to compete with a moving target, which is always difficult. You don't know what your competition is going to be doing, of course, if they're evolving. But that said, to be honest, look at Nissan, what they did with the Leaf. They did nothing for, nearly 10 years. Some companies might do that, but others won't. BYD and Tesla, they won't be standing still. Their EVs are going to get better and better over time. However, the good news is the Renault 4 and the Renault 5 both are likely to come to New Zealand and Australia and to Europe and to the US and to Canada markets. Don't know about everywhere else yet, but so far it looks like that's where they're coming to. And personally, I'm stoked. It's the more competition we have, the prices are going to come down for all EVs. It's really just a good option for everyone to have, and more supply is what we desperately need right now. This is going to bring more supply to the market. And frankly, if this is what hatchback EVs will look like in the future, I'm all for it. I'm stoked. I love the look of it. What do you think? Let me know what you think of the looks. Are you a fan? Not a fan? Would you consider buying a Renault EV? Let's say this was 20,000 US dollars or around 30,000 Australian dollars. Would this be on your potential list of cars, your short list to buy? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.